Hello everybody, and welcome to the 100 meditation tips. In this particular session we're looking at, do I need to travel to India to improve and really learn to meditate? Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the tip. So, the question, do I need to go to India to improve and learn to meditate? If you look at the history of meditation and mindfulness in the West, you see that in the past 30 or 40 years there's been a huge increase in practice. There's been a huge surge, really, wave of enthusiasm and interest in these practices. A lot of it is based around some of the Buddhist practices. In particular, mindfulness comes out of the Buddhist tradition. If you'd have been in the UK, the US, Europe, some 60, 70, 80 years ago, it would have been virtually impossible to have learnt these practices. So a select few kind of explorers, travellers, came across some practices, meditative practices, when they were perhaps travelling in Tibet or India, studied with Tibetan lamas or Japanese teachers. There are very few. It's only recently, since the end of the Second World War, the 50s, where Asian teachers, Japanese Zen teachers, Tibetan lamas started coming to California, coming to the UK, coming to Europe, and started to teach meditation practices, that we have had the opportunity, really incredible, rich opportunity now globally. And there is a tradition often with those who meditate, sometimes to want to travel to the East, in particular to India, to Nepal, to Tibet. Sometimes there's a sort of, almost like a pilgrimage of respect and to see the history of where the lineage of what they have practiced has come from. That's fantastic. There's many sites, historical sites in India, for example, where Buddha taught, where he meditated, even where he attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya in present-day Bihar in northern India. These are all sites, and it is said that if you go to those sites, your meditation practice has more power. Your positive actions has more power. Sometimes people feel the need perhaps to go to India, to go to Asia, to learn practices, almost as though they feel that the real practices are actually in the East. The real practitioners are still in the East. Perhaps if they go to the Himalayas, they will find some powerful meditation practice from an experienced teacher, which will accelerate their training. But what you'll find now is actually in the West, in Western world, all the practices are here. And in fact, it's easier to access now because most of the practices are translated. For example, in the past you'd have had to learn Sanskrit, you'd have had to learn Pali, you'd have perhaps need to learn Tibetan to really penetrate into some of the deeper texts. But now, due to the kindness of many translators, these texts have been translated into the English language, into Spanish, Italian, Portuguese and so on. So we can actually learn within our own language, and almost like the essential instructions within our own language. So going to the East can be an adventure, it can be interesting, but we're not necessarily going to make any more progress by going there. Sometimes people go to India, for example, to do a retreat, to do a meditation retreat, perhaps a 10-day retreat, perhaps a month retreat. Sometimes with good effect, sometimes not, because one of the things you have to bear in mind is when you go to do a retreat, one of the most important things is to have less distractions, to reduce distractions, and to be able to focus, to feel healthy, to feel balanced within our body. one of the things you find when you travel to Asian countries, especially like India, is that your whole system changes. You have a new climate, you have a new diet, you have a new culture, there's a new language, all these things that you almost like bombarded, your senses are bombarded. So if you do plan to travel to India to learn how to do a retreat, I always recommend to maybe go, give yourself a few weeks prior to the retreat to acclimatise to your new circumstances. And also, perhaps look in other places, maybe closer. There's some very, very picturesque, inspirational environments where we can do retreat, almost on our doorstep. Often, so what we're looking for is right under our nose. That inner peace that we're looking for, as we'll know if we have been training in meditation some time, is right here. It's in the present moment. That inner peace, that calm, that inspiration you're looking for, you're not necessarily going to find it by travelling to the other side of the world. You may, but you may be surprised how close that experience is. That experience of peace and calm is right here, right now. All we have to do is simply make the effort to look within. So it's almost like a voyage, a journey within, an adventure within. Going to India, going to Asia, can act as a catalyst to start that. And it may provide us with some inspiration. But the most important journey we need to take is the inner journey, through sitting down each day, practicing, and then integrating our practice into our daily life. So, the question, do I need to go to India to learn and improve my meditation practice? There's no definitive answer. Finally, of course, it's down to us. Can be inspirational, can also be a distraction. Again, checking our intention. Am I doing this as a distraction, or am I actually doing this to try to discover deeper into my own mind? Because if I'm really interested in going into my mind, I don't necessarily need to travel anywhere. I just need to look within. Okay, thank you very much for listening to this tip, and I hope to see you in the next meditation tip. Bye for now.